Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, as always bringing you this kind of news. And well, many YouTube channels already repeated this news, and I'm repeating myself and to you this again. Egypt might soon Netflix over Cleopatra. Well, Blacky Cleopatra. A fairly polarized topic in entertainment these days is race swapping. That was in quote unquote. Or intentionally changing the rest of established characters. Workflix already done that. It's not new. It's not news. It's always has been an unprecedented thing with Workflix to gender swap, race swap, characters of any kind of intellectual property, historical figure, or whatever kind of fiction. They see the woke agenda in their eyes that we need to change it just to push this another race because we see a problem with it. And that's what the woke nonsense are. Seeing problems, they are not there, and try and tackle them rather than tackle their own bias towards the world. So let's continue with this article. Some notable and recent examples include Vilma from Scooby-Doo. Yeah, Scooby-Doo, they did it so dirty, man. And they did so dirty, Vilma. Oh, what's the name they call her now? Dinky. Either way is just bullshit. The Little Mermaid and a character from David Lowery, Peter Pan. Yeah, Little Mermaid. Everyone already have saw the Disney walk Little Mermaid. Because that's what it is. Wokeness is just changing something of race, gender, because these fuckers see a problem in it rather than seeing they're themselves as the problem. I have no invested interest in these characters, but I get that the backlash coming from. There are certain segments of society who cherish purist ideals and don't like agendas being pushed on them. Even if they are just purist ideas, just for example, I really like it how Japan did that Quetzalcoatl look was an character with the dragon from Mexican culture. A good female looking with big boobs and a giant ass. I'm okay with that because they are just doing the character more sexier. And it's just fiction. They are not trying to push an agenda just like Waffles does. However, a more recent trend has had filmmakers race swapping actual story figures, just like what Walkley did with Marie Antoinette. A notable example is Cleopatra from an upcoming Netflix series. Cleopatra ancestry has been traced to the Macedonian Ptolemaic, sorry for saying that, Ptolemaic dynasty. I hope that I say that correctly. These are people generally considered bronze, olive, or honey skin. Honey skin. Milky Way skin. Sorry for making the jokes, but well, I found it. I found a good laugh with this. Don't tell that to the creators of the Netflix series when the trailer dropped last week for Queen Cleopatra. People noticed Cleopatra was a black woman played by Adele James. The film director defended her casting choice by saying it was very intentional conceived. Yeah, feelings over facts. That's what Wolfley's anti-woke mentality ill persons in United States and United Kingdom are pushing across the whole world. Why shouldn't Cleopatra be Manontel's sister? And why do some people need Cleopatra to be white? Her proximity to whiteness seems to give her value. And for some Egyptians, it seems to really matter. Gravity told Variety. I remember an 18 plus movie for adults where Cleopatra was having the deal, if you know what I mean, with many subjects. And she was a little white with with olive skin. Honestly, I was okay with that. That was like 20 years ago, and I'm okay with that, honestly. Even the adult videos and movies have more faith to the source material than the whole Hollywood mental ill American state of entertainment productions. Keep that in mind. And he said with more quote unquote, we need to have a conversation with ourselves about our colorism and the international white supremacy. This is what always gets me, and this is really pisses me off that I cannot contain myself. They want to be racist, legally racist against white people. Because something that has been very common in the United States is how racist they can be themselves to their own people. Because they, even if everyone already knows what their government has already done across the whole years and many countries across the world, the thing is they don't like to accept themselves. That's what it is. They don't like to accept themselves. That's what the culture is. And if there is this problem in current year where there is not acceptance of what there are, even across Latin American and Japan and many other countries in Asia and Latin America, of course, they see a hard way nowadays of how to portray themselves in their culture they are currently are. They need to accept themselves because this precedent of what it is current state year, it is you need to learn your history and accept yourself and maybe learn how to you can change that even if it's just with little actions in your life. But that's what it is. And Hollywood doesn't like that because of course there is some millionaire elites pushing this agenda of oneness because they want to destroy the whole culture across the entire globe. So well, let's continue. That Hollywood has indoctrinated us with. Yeah, that's the end of the. Well, I went too far ahead of myself. So, well, gotta be at. It's almost as if we don't realize that misogynismus, because I'm going to spell it like that, it still has an effect on us today. We need to liberate our imaginations about to create a world in which we can explore our historical figures without fearing the complexity that comes to with their fictions. I could agree with that because I put example of Lukua, that character that is based on Quetzalcoatl in that anime called Dragon Maid. The problem is with your platform, you are just pushing an agenda that Cleopatra was never white because she was Greek. She was Greek. Historia correctly, she was Greek and Greek were white. So shut the fuck up. She wrote. Just to reiterate what was previously said, Cleopatra is neither white nor black. Garabi doesn't care because, by the sounds of it, she's fighting racism with her decision to cast a black actress. Just like what I said! Feelings over facts. In my entire politics, just for example, the country I really love to rip off is Spain. With that law, yes mean yes. You know what I did with this law? They push it on emotions about women being struggled snuggled by men. And you know what they did? They put in a law saying the literal word yes. So what happened after that? Manipulation victims in struggle snuggle cases, they were actually not condoned by that act after they were already condemned by that act. I know what I'm saying is not making many sense, and this law either. This law made actual criminals that manipulated people being free from jail from their crimes or their sentence reduced because of the law. Just imagine, just put that in perspective. Just to reiterate what was previously said, Cleopatra is neither white or black. Yeah, I already read that. Regardless, Egypt has decided that they have enough with the rewriting of their history. They might be suing. Some people say, well, it's just a description or their whole idea, but the thing is Netflix. They already push gender swap agenda because this is blackface. Some motherfuckers claim to accuse someone is racist because they say, "Oh, you did a blackface. You're just blackface. You are just laughing and making mock of the black people." M- Motherfucking sack of shit, sackback, turt. You're doing that to white people. And not all white people is the US. Not white people entirely is the United States. Not entirely the white people is the United Kingdom. There are white people born naturally in Mexico. There are natural born people in Colombia. There are born white people in Peru, Ecuador, even Brazil, Philippines. And Philippines has a little olive skin because there is some story behind that. But there are still white people there, born naturally there. That's what it is with the woke mentality. They don't see that. According to Newsweek, top dog Egyptian lawyer Mahmoud al-Semari is asking the country public prosecutor to sue Netflix and the makers of the cleopatra. Honestly, I hope so. I hope so. Most of what the workplace platform displays does not conform to Islamic and societal values and principles, especially Egyptian ones, al-Semirai said. Yeah, they are offended by it because honestly, I really like how Japan even does some Mexican characters because sometimes they do the whole stereotype and and people don't care because they're accepted like yeah I'm someone who are willing to accept what I am or even if there is just taking the stereotypes from little state, people are okay with that because they don't see racism, but the woke people see racism in everything. I mean, even that anime Bleach portrayed a Mexican character so good, and it's called Chat. Cleopatra was a source of pride for Egyptians, and so of course they are going to take offense when you decide to blackwash her. Just like I said, the show advertised itself as a documentary with fictional recreations on quote unquote prominent and iconic African queens. Then in the trailer sells somebody's here saying, I don't care what they teach you in school, Cleopatra was black. I don't care what facts say to me, what actual accurate information says to me. With my feelings, I say she is another color. Oh man. And these kind of mentally ill people want to be in positions of power. Keep that in mind. And don't forget what I said. They already are in positions of power. They already are in big enterprise, big corpus, spraying their nonsense because some woke a millionaire elite is pushing this. And my temple hat is not really a temple hat, it's a fact. And everyone is getting noticed about this. But well, let's just end this article. That is the problem. If it was a fictional character where race wasn't important, the race swap as much as you want. But if you're going to base something on an historical figure, you should probably stick with their actual race. Well, even what is that gacha game in Japan? Fate Grand Order, they portray some characters as females even though they were supposed to be males, but hey, that's because they want to avoid copyright because some families are very jealous or very protected of what their historical characters are and they want to monetize them at some point because some laws doesn't apply in the US in the copyright system and they are applying in Japan. But the thing is, at least say you are going to be some to portray something of fiction, but you are not doing that. I know that Netflix doesn't do that. That's pretty much everything. This is a long video, but I hope you have a great weekend.